Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza Creates, and I'm really excited to be sharing this kit with you. I am having my first month as part of RachandBella Crafts Design Team, so I'm really excited. I did attend the retreat and did spend some lovely time with Rach and her mum and everybody else who was there, and yeah, we got chatting, and yeah, I said I'd like to be considered for your design team, and here I am. So we got to pick any kit we wanted to use in July. So I've picked this one. This is just beautiful, absolutely beautiful, this sheet. I love it. This is called Eastern Promise Journal Kit. So this is the sheet I loved. I just loved that blue. Reminds me of Lost Lagoon, one of my favourite colours. And yeah, and the other, so these are all the journal pages, and they're printed on 120 GSM presentation paper, and I just think the images are beautiful. Stunning page, love that, it's one of my favourite. And I like the sheets that you can write on. Those flowers are gorgeous. These are the journaling cards. They're printed on 200 GSM card, as are the tags. And then the ephemera sheet is printed again on 120 GSM paper, and backed it with a digital old paper print. I did 2 of them. And then these are the photos, which are stunning. I love them. And they're printed on actual photo paper, so that I get the best reproduction. And they're going to get stuck on things anyway. And then I go through the kit and I shrink things down. So I've done those pages, 2 to a page and 4 to a page. And I think they'll go really well to be backed on to a journaling card, because you've got space there to write. And then these are the journal pages, which I've done 2 to a page. And I thought, stick those 2 together and I've got a journaling card. Fold that one in half. It's a journaling card. And then I did them 4 to a page, as well as the photos, 2 to a page and 4 to a page. So I've got lots and lots of options there for making ephemera. That's a misprint on ordinary copy of paper, but it's thin enough for, you know, masterboards or whatever. And then I shrunk those down again to use. So that is the kit. So that is what I'm doing. I'm now going on holiday. So taking this with me, might have a little play, make a few things, and then when I come back from holiday, I'll add it to this video of what I've made and how I've made some of them. Okay, see you in a minute, but it'll actually be about 10 days time after I've had a lovely week in France. Okay, so I have cut everything out. So I did a little bit on holiday, and then some things I waited till I got home and used my scan and cut, because I didn't think that I'd be able to cut these curves that well. And I used punches on the circles. I also used scan and cut on some of the circles. I did cut the envelopes by hand because the scan and cut struggled, and yeah, sometimes it does. So I shrunk down some of the elements. I think I showed you that when I went through the kit. So these are those large cards done. I just cut them out. I found it really difficult. I wasn't going to attempt to cut round the edges of the lace, so I just cut them straight and rounded the corners and inked them. And I coffee dyed them, tea dyed them. I don't know why I keep saying coffee, because I use tea on the back, and they can be just as is. And I'm really bad at just leaving things just as is. I always like to add a bit of stuff. And then I did small ones as well. That one, I picked up my big corner rounder as opposed to the little one, and I do prefer the big one. And so I decided, oh, let's do something different and just do it on 2 sides. So I did that. I've got these cut. Don't quite know what I'm going to do with them. So I did 2 envelopes, got lots of circles. I shrunk down the tags as well. and these corner bits. So I've got 2 sizes of circles, shrunk down the envelopes, cut out all these are just stunning, absolutely stunning. Cut them down. I've got one missing, I don't know where it is, and I keep looking for it, but I can't find it. Shrunk that down. I have done some things which I shall now show you. So I spent yesterday having a play. I did do this one on holiday. I have showed this on my Instagram. So I made this on holiday. I just took one of the shrunk down pages and backed it on one of the shrunk down journaling cards, and then took one of these beautiful women and stuck it down. Now it was a little bit I'll show you on the big one. So it didn't cover the whole thing. There was a little bit of blue showing at the bottom, so I wanted to cover it up. So I'm going to come a bit closer. So I put a little bit of book page across it, and then I thought it needs a little bit more, so I ripped up one of those corner triangles that I had in that beautiful paper, and I just put a strip across there, and then I added a strip across on the back as well, and I think that makes a really good journaling card back. So these were just printed on my 120 GSM presentation paper, and I just stuck them together with Carlisle glue, and it's made it quite robust. So I did that on holiday. I didn't do anything else on holiday, so I've done everything else here yesterday whilst I was having a play. So sort of getting back into it. I was exhausted coming back, so I just did these little things. I thought they would possibly make good toppers on tags or pockets or things, and I used my deckled edge, see there, yeah, you can see there, my deckled edge trimmer there, because it's lace, and I just thought, oh, that would work. I then, on some of them, because to shrink them down I had loads on a page, I made some stamps. So I made some faux stamps with them, which I thought would make lovely little embellishments. Shrunk down envelope I have put together, and I've left it at that because I wasn't sure. I was on holiday and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I simply just put it together. I might do a little sort of policy envelope closure, or I might just leave it as an envelope. Don't know yet. Then what I did was so I used my rectangle postage stamp punch, which is eluding me right now, to cut out those centres to make these stamps. So then I was left with a frame. So I put some of my shrunk down women in the frame, and then so I thought they worked really well. Well, I've used one, and no I haven't, that's something different, there we go. And so I thought they were quite cute, and then I just backed them on some coffee dye paper, so they can be little elements on their own, or they could go on the front of a tag, was what I thought. But I was just playing, and I'm going to show you how I did all these. That one, so this was a plain tag, one of my shrunk down ones, felt it needed something, so I put that beautiful woman on there, and I just added a little bit of lace there to cover up the bottom where I had it before. On there had a little bit showing, so I just put a little bit of lace on there. I've put a little bit of doily behind there in the colours that I felt came out, and then I just put, I've got this lovely ribbon with a little gold thread through it, which I thought will feature in here, this journal, quite a lot. Nothing to the back, and then we'll do that in a minute. So then I shrunk down the pages. So this was a page, I think it went that way actually, Jez, yeah it did. So I just printed 2 to a page, cut it in half so that I've got, I thought they make nice journaling cards, and then I backed it with a shrunken down you know, plain page with lines. I managed to get that really dirty. How have I done that? It's a bit of a messy craft, Jez. That's how you did that. Oh well, I just don't think it matters. So yeah, and I just deckled edged them, and I really like how they turned out. Quite simple. I am itching to do something on it because that's how I roll. A little bit of scraps, they don't need to be there. And then finally in my plane, oh, and I did that. So that was one of the shrunk down corners. And I just having a play, I wasn't sure I was going to use that. And then I took another one of the shrunk down double pages and I've made a pocket. I'm going to show you how I did that. So that can go on a page. And then I just did nothing to the tag other than made a little enforcer, sort of picked out the colour from the flower, and I matched that ribbon to that. I got the tiniest bit of this ribbon. How gorgeous is it? And thought that would look good on a page. I'm gonna. So I've got this. This is Lost Lagoon. It's a really good colour. I think I'm going to do some sort of border on there. To tie it in. But yeah, that's so that's what I've made. So let me show you how I did these. So let's start with the two for one, shall we? 2 for 1. Quite simple, me 2 for 1s. So let's get out of my little pack of goodies. I should have some more of that. Shrunken down bit, she says. Right, those are some scraps. There we go. Got them left. So I've used nearly the whole sheet actually, different things. Gonna need the little photos. They're somewhere. They're there. There we go. So what I did was I took my rectangle postage stamp punch and gonna get my glasses down. I just went in there. So you get a little bit of lace either side, but it's a little bit too long, too short rather, for the length, but it's fine. So when I'm happy, I do that. Instant postage stamp. So do the other one. There we go. And then that leaves a frame. We've got a little bit of a blue border, but we can cover that up. Some are bigger than others. Didn't mind so much when there was a tiny bit top and bottom, as I've managed to do with that one. There we go. So that gives us our little frames there. And here we've got our postage stamps, which of course we don't leave like that, do we? So do the postage stamps first because they're quite quick and easy. So I took some vintage photo. I've used vintage photo throughout this, a little bit of pecan pie and some pebble path. So just, I'm not worried about the backs because I imagine these will be used as elements that will be stuck down. If I decide that I want them to be like little things I can write on, I will simply back it. But for the moment, this is all I'm doing. I just think this will make nice little features on the front of a pocket or part of a cluster, so they don't really need backing. That was my thoughts. So there we go, simple as. And then I use some pecan pie, and I've got some different postage stamp things. I might actually dig out some different ones so they look different. Okay, so I've dug out Ranunculus Romance. It's a retired Stampin' Up stamp. I'm taking that one and that one. I've just been to France. We had a day in Paris, so that's lovely. A little one there from Butterfly Basics. This was my all-time favourite Stampin' Up stamp. And that one there, another Paris theme and the Franken thing. So those are the stamp sets that I've got ready, and just gonna bring in something to stamp on because I'll be stamping off. So there they are, got them all ready. So I'm gonna stamp this one. Which way is the right way up? That way. I find it difficult to see sometimes. Oh yeah, I can see now that that's the right way up. So stick you there. Oh, very random. I want this one. Stick you up there. And then you need this behind. Might stamp off. Stick that one behind. Got this one. Stick you there. And we'll have a bit of this. On there. And you can have a bit of that at the top. Put that on there. Up there. Across there. There. Very simple. You've got postage stamp stamps. They do add something lovely. Very useful to have in your junk journaling stamps. So there we go. Done that one, that one, that one, and that one. So they now look different than the other ones I've got. So that's that. So now let's tackle these. So they're already partway done. So I'm going to bring out, I'd already cut the top and the bottom. So I'm going to cut it down this side here. Take the edge off. And then go down the centre. I'm just eyeballing, for, well, you can't see. Eyeballing so that I can sort of see where it cuts there. There we go. And then we'll do the same up the centre. You have to do 2 cuts because you don't get it all in one. So that's one done. I might just show you the one, how to make one as opposed to 4. Because if I want to get the other things done in this video. Yeah, so we'll leave it at that. I'll do those another time. So I've got 2 there cut out. Right, so, and I just went round the edges. I do think that decal edge does do these sort of lacy edges really well, and a little bit of vintage photo ages it quite nicely. And then I just went on the inside as well, and once it's covered with this, you don't really see that blue bit quite so much, so it's not really a problem. Get a bit more out. think I need to change my sponge. It's well and truly seen better days. Watch me make 4 or 5 videos with the same sponge. Don't like to waste. There we go. I'll leave that one for another day. I've already inked most of these photos, not that they matter because they're going on the back. So looking at these photos, shall I pick different to what I've done before? I haven't done that one. She looks like a still in a silent movie, the way she sort of goes. That's what I thought. She fits in there lovely. She is stunning. I love her. She'd go in. I'd need to trim her down. She'd be beautiful. Gonna use her because I think she's very beautiful. So I'm going to trim her down because I don't want it to show on the outside. So we'll go along there. So now height wise we're all right. I'll just take a slither of a slither off the edges so that she fits inside that frame. I say these photos are shrunk down and they were printed on photo paper because they're so stunning. You want good quality, so they are printed on photo paper. And because I knew that they wouldn't be used on their own, it don't matter. It is 140 GSM, so it is all right, just in case it get a bit messy. So what I did was I put glue all the way around the edge of the frame, close to it, and then I went round the edge of the photo, and then that way I know it should be stuck down. I'm then going to put some tea dyed paper on the back, so will well and truly be stuck in. So gonna come down so we can see, get a bit string on colour. There we are. She's beautiful. So there she is. So then I took a bit of coffee tea even dyed paper. I did have a strip already, but of course I want it, so I can't find it. No, you can't. Is that it there? There it is. So I just used my decal edge trimmer and sort of cut where I wanted. That'll do nicely. I'm just gonna go over the edge a bit more now. Now I've got a little bit more purchase. There we go. So I'm going to stick that down to the coffee dyed paper. Tea. Do you know, 2020 I made my first journal and I coffee dyed everything. And I talked about coffee dyed paper because that's what it is. And then I think later that year or in 2021, I changed to tea because I realised that the coffee smelt and I didn't like it. And can I get out of the habit of saying coffee? No, I really can't. So I'm just putting that down. Use my, oh, this is a sky card, a redundant sky card. So anything that you want, it is up there, Jez. Anything that use a bone folder, loyalty card, anything, just to press that down. And then I took my deckled edge to cut the top bit. I always go to the bottom of the deckled edge because the top's a little bit flatter. That's going to be a bit longer. Let's come out a little bit more. There we go. Made a nice little frame there. Got a little scrap. Love a little scrap. And then let's put the lid on that before. I might trim it down after. I might have made that margin too wide. It does depend what I'm going to use it for. But we'll leave it like that for the moment. There we go. So there, that's how I did that one. So that was quite cool. What else did I do? Oh, my pocket. Shall I show you how I made? These are quite simple and straightforward. These. So what I did was on the paper that I shrunk down. So that would make a nice back. So this is backed with that. I'm going to back my next one with this, I think. That was a misprint. Don't want that on the front. Yeah, that's the other two. So we'll make those journaling cards. And I could shrink them down a bit more and make smaller ones as well, which I might yet do if I need some more ephemera. I haven't started assembling pages for this journal yet. I thought I would do something a little bit different, and just going to cut them down. Yeah, just something a little bit different for a change, and just make ephemera for my first design project, because I had a week off by going on holiday. And then of course you go on holiday as a creator, and I like to make sure there's content going out. So I was busy working on that prior to going. So I thought, well, you haven't got time really to make a journal. So let's just make some ephemera. And then when I do come to putting the journal together, I can put a journal together with signatures and that quite quickly. So, you know, it will come together nicely. So what I did was took a glue stick and I went round all the edges. And then I did fill in then the middle, so we know it's all covered. But not being a truster of glue stick, I of course add other glue. So this is glue stick I use, Q-Connect, Amazon, twice the price now as it was in lockdown almost. I think in 2020 and 2021 I was paying £4 something for, I think it was 20 glue sticks. No, I think it was like £4. Oh, what an idiot. £4.30 or something I was paying, and now they're £7.50, £7 something, nearly £8. But that's everything, isn't it? Everything's just going up, isn't it? So 120 GSM paper, 2 of them together with your glue makes quite a nice robust journaling card. So there we go. Dun, dun, dun. What I've got to make sure is that they're up the right way. So that's the top, that's the top. So I'm gonna match them together. There we go. As well as we can. Got a little bit of wigglage, not much. That'll do. And then again, a trusty little spreader. And I'll say these are quite big cards, so I think I will do the same, but in smaller cards. There we go. Let's fold that across. Do a little bit of glue on there, but it rubs off for the most part. I think that might even be the pattern on there, Jez. Yeah, it's a pattern on there, Jez. Trying to rub off a pattern, look. So that's that. Now, before I cut it up, I want it to dry a little bit. So I'm going to leave that to dry whilst we do another bit of ephemera that I've made. So I decorated this little tag. So this was, the tags are bigger. You get 3 on a page, and I shrunk them down 2 to a page so that I've got little ones as well, because I like different sizes. And these are now a little bit too big, I think, because I've put a thing on them. So I could use a stamp for a change. Where's the other one? Where's my 4th design? Because I like that pink flower. But I wanted to use the one that I made today on the video. It's there, Jess, staring at you in the face. And there's 2 stuck together there. There. I like that one there. Use that one. So that one done very much same as that, except what I did was I stuck it on top. So yeah, so we've got that. I've got these little doilies, old retired Stampin' Up doilies. So we've got the pink going on there, quite like that actually. Don't really need anything else. I did put a little bit of lace on it. I've got these old bits of lace that I used. Quite like that. This is an old collar. It's probably quite old. Yeah, quite like that. I think that works. I think that works, Jez. I'm just gonna, however, I'm gonna put that blue one on there. No, because it's the wrong blue. We'll stick with the pink. Stick with the pink. So I want that to look a little bit older. So we'll just go around a little bit around the edges. So it's not quite so bright. And then I'll just stick it down there. And that will stick on there. Yep. So I said the other ones have got prints on, and so I probably won't do too much to them, but there was this plain one that I thought would benefit from a little something. I do love this pattern. I just think it's absolutely stunning. I love the colours. That's why I chose the kit. We were allowed to choose whatever kit we wanted, and I wanted to do boho, but these were more the colours that I wanted to do, and I thought, oh yeah, I can definitely get myself in the groove, in the boho groove with this one. That's not straight now, can I move it? No, you can't. It's junk jazz. Who cares about straight? Yep, you're right. So yeah, so this is good because you're seeing how I'm using some of those elements that I've made. Make a quick cluster. There we go. And then we'll stick this down. Is there a right and a wrong? Yeah. Just going to use my Collage. It's pretty good. It's a solvent glue. So I do have Fabitac, but I find this does pretty much the same job, really. And it's cheaper, and I can buy it in the UK. So there we go. I know you can't get it, I don't think, as easily in other parts of the world, but in other parts of the world you can get other stuff that works. Beacon 3-in-1. I think people have likened this glue to Beacon 3-in-1. So there we go. So now we need the closure at the top. So I've got this hole punch, which punches that hole really, really well. I've took my glasses up and I need them back down again. So that takes the whole of that out. There we go, nicely done. And then I used some of this ribbon. Got this in Happy Mail. Well, it was what the Happy Mail was wrapped in, so that was cool. And I just took a bit, decided where I wanted it. I'll have up there, up there. That'll do nicely. And then I've got this twine. So this is available from Stampin' Up right now. You get it in a pack of 5 colours. Last year's in colours. This is Sweet Sorbet, something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, I liked it. For this project, it's about the only time I've liked it. I have to say it's not my colour, but I think it works for this. So I just needed it to age a bit, get rid of the white, make it brown. That'll do. And then I just tied a bow. So I do my little knot first, and then put it over the ribbon, and I tighten it at 90 degrees to where I want the bow to sit. So then when you do your bow, it sits exactly where you want it. It's really easy to twist baker's twine. and once it's twisted, it's very hard to have it fall untwisted. But usually get there in the end. Right, bit of a pull, and then I pull these out, and that's my tag. There we go. So that's the original with my boho lady, and then that's the new one with my boho postage stamp. So that's that. I think this might be ready now. No idea how much time we've got now because I've done this in different bits. No actual idea. Right, so gonna cut this down. So I know it's 8 1/4 wide, so 4 1/8 should be around the middle. Don't have to be precise. That will probably do it. And then if you do this when it's still wet, it gunges up. Ask me how I know. So much better to wait for it to be dry. There we go. So I've got a little bit there that didn't cut as well. So we'll go back in. Oh, still didn't like it. Right, so I'm going to come in with my little preciser scissors and just, must have been a little bit wet. This is what happens when your glue hasn't dried completely. So there we go, and that's the back. So not altogether straight there at the back, not altogether bothered, if I'm honest. Right, I think that's quite straight, so we'll go down this bit first. Take that off. That one's already cut. Take that off. And then that side. There we go. That one was much, again, it's not altogether straight. It's junk journal. Are we bothered? Are we bothered? Face bothered, not me. Right, get rid of them. And then that's just finished off quite simply with inking around the edges, and that is a journaling card done. I will probably embellish these in some way. I'll probably add words, so I'll probably add a little cluster with a word on it when I know where it's going in the journal. But for the moment I haven't added words to anything, but I think most things will probably have a little something. I've done some boho words. I think I have. Can't remember. I make words myself on my computer. I've got some general words which will work as well, like, you know, journal, memories, imagine, creativity, or create, inspire. So that's them. So that's the 4 different styles of those. So that was that. So the last thing to do is to show you how I did the pocket. I say I have no idea how long this video has been, but I'm just going to crack on, and if I have to end up make it in 2 parts, I will. So I'm going to use it right. I'm going to use it again if I can find it. Is that one? So I've only used half of it. So there was this page, and I used, I did it 2 to a page, and I used half it, so I used that sheet for this. So we'll use this sheet. So I'm going to grab my school board. I reached under and pulled this one out. This is ancient. I bought a Stampin' Up one when I became a Stampin' Up demonstrator, and yeah, don't know why this one suddenly appeared. Right, so I just did 1/4 inch along there, so that's the bottom, and then on the side I just went to where it was and went 1, 2, 3 in, like so. 1, 2, 3 in. That's the sides, and then fold down the top. Now I didn't do a mass, well I folded this one down and looks like 1 inch, but I actually think I want it down a little bit more, because that's quite a deep pocket when that's in. It's quite tall, so I think it needs to come down a little bit more. So I might chop some off. So I might come down there, almost 2 inches. So we've got a shallower pocket. There we go. And then I can, right, that's very fast. I can trim a bit off that. Oh, now I can't find where to put it. Right, where's my little trimmer? There we go. I'm just gonna trim a bit off that. It's just to reinforce the top. So take that off, keep that with my scraps. So let's fold all my edges in. So as with all the others, this is 120 GSM presentation paper that I've used. I think they make good pockets, as long as I like to, reinforce the top, then that works. Then that works well. So then we're going to, so we need to snip all the little rectangle corners off. So this makes a gusseted pocket, and it should be, if I've done it right, just wide enough for them big tags. So that gets glued down, and then these 3 bits glue to your page. So this is a much shorter pocket, but hopefully it's still, yes, cooking on gas, still wide enough to hold that tag. And I think that's a better size. It kind of goes about halfway up. The other one's quite a bit deeper, but I still think it works. So that's that. So just OVS ink around the edges, because that's what we do. That's how we roll. And then the top needs gluing down to give it a nice edge. Just do a bit of glue stick and some colour. That gives us a nice strong edge for when we're pulling things in and out. And then I always like my pockets to have a bit of that on the inside, just in case you see them. So that's the basic pocket, and then I did do a little bit of decoration on it. So I used those circles from the Ephemera. So I've got a wee circle. I think that's quite cute. I do like that as part of a cluster. I could use one of my postage stamps that I made as well. To be fair, I don't think I need that circle. If I'm going to use a postage stamp, I think that'll work on its own with maybe a little bit. Oh, I've got an orange flower. Let's have a bit of an orange doily on there. Oh yeah, God, I just thought of that. Maybe a bit of that sticking out. That kind of works quite nicely, doesn't it? With a bit of lace. We're cooking on gas. A bit of lace along the top of the pocket. Oh, got got this Stampin' Up lace. Got that in charity shop. You could go across the top, and then we could have a little bit on here. I think I've got a little bit I cut for someone else and then never actually used. Bit of lace to match it. I am liking that. I am liking that a lot. Right, let's get you cut. I'll cut it to size when it's stuck down. So that's that. So I'm going to ink the lace, ink this and stick it all down. And I think I'll do this speeded up. So there's the pocket done, and I didn't do anything to the tag other than add a hole reinforcer and some ribbon to pop in. So I think I will create a different tag for that one. So that was the original. I did think I could possibly stick in, because I've made it smaller, I could stick in a smaller tag and one of my pretty ladies and maybe some vintage document behind. So that's what we've made. That's what we've made. So lots of ephemera ready for clusters, sticking on tags, journaling cards ready to go. I'd used the doily. I like to kill two birds with one stone. So as I had to ink the doily, I used it as a stencil, and I think that sort of adds a little something to these journaling cards. So I really like that. So I'm going to remember that, and I'm gonna do that again. I think this would benefit from that, or dig out some other stencils that I've got. So yeah, that is my ephemera all ready for my Eastern Promise journal, which is going to be a boho-y Eastern Promise journal. And that's my first design team project for RachandBella Crafts. So yeah, hope you like that. And yeah, I'm quite excited. My first project done, and I will bring you the finished journal when I finally finish it. Might not be at the end of this month, but yeah, it will come. Okay, thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks. Bye.